Someone in your life right now is manipulating you. And the terrifying part is, they've made you feel like everything is your fault. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to look back at certain conversations and feel a chill run down your spine. I want you to think about someone close to you. A friend, a partner, a coworker, maybe even a family member. Now think about the last time you walked away from a conversation with them feeling drained, confused, maybe even guilty about something you can't quite name. You couldn't explain it. You just felt off. Here's what most people never realize. Manipulation rarely looks like someone twisting your arm. It doesn't come with a villain's laugh. It comes dressed in concern, in love, in helpfulness. And the most dangerous manipulators, they don't even know they're doing it. But you'll know. After today, you'll know. Sign number 1. The guilt trip machine. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah had a best friend named Mia for almost 6 years. Every time Sarah tried to make plans without Mia, a girl's trip, a work event, anything, Mia would go quiet. Not angry, just quiet. And then she'd say something like, "No, it's fine. I just thought we were closer than that. But it's fine." And Sarah would cancel her plans. Every single time. This is guilt tripping. And it's one of the most common and least recognized forms of manipulation because it doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like someone expressing hurt. And you, being a caring human being, respond to that hurt. But here's the distinction that changes everything. There's a difference between someone telling you they're hurt and someone using their hurt to control your behavior. When someone says, "I'm hurt by what you did and I want to talk about it," that's communication. When someone says, "I guess I'm just not important to you," every time you make a choice that doesn't involve them, that's a leash. The psychological term is guilt induction. And it works because it exploits your empathy. The more compassionate you are, the more vulnerable you are to it. Think about it. Has someone ever made you feel responsible for their emotions in a way that made you shrink your own life to manage theirs? Here's where it gets darker. Because guilt tripping is actually the entry point. What comes next is more insidious. Sign number 2. Gaslighting. Making you doubt reality. You've probably heard the word gaslighting. But most people think it means someone calling you crazy. It doesn't. Not even close. Gaslighting is when someone systematically makes you question your own perception of reality. It's subtle, it's slow, and it's terrifyingly effective. It sounds like, "That never happened. You're being too sensitive. You always do this. You twist everything. I was joking. Why do you always take things so seriously?" Imagine this. You're in a meeting. Your colleague Marcus takes credit for your idea in front of your boss. Afterward, you confront him privately. And he says, "What are you talking about? I mentioned your name. You just don't remember because you were nervous." This is what you always do. You look for reasons to be upset. You start to wonder, did he mention your name? Were you nervous? Are you imagining things? You weren't, but now you're not sure. That's the goal. The psychological mechanism here is called reality distortion. Over time, repeated gaslighting makes you outsource your own judgment to the manipulator. You stop trusting yourself. And once that happens, they don't even need to manipulate you directly anymore, because you'll come to them to figure out what's real. And they'll be happy to tell you, "We've only scratched the surface." Because what I haven't told you yet is that signs 3 and 4 often come packaged together. And when they do, they're almost impossible to escape without outside help. Sign number 3. Love bombing and the withdrawal cycle. Be honest with me. Have you ever been in a relationship, romantic or otherwise, where things started intensely wonderful? Constant attention. Compliments. "You're not like anyone else I've ever met." Plans for the future within weeks. A feeling of being truly, completely seen. And then, slowly, it shifted. The warmth became conditional. The attention became a reward for good behavior. And suddenly you found yourself working to get back to that early feeling. doing things you never would have done before, accepting things you never would have accepted, just to feel that warmth again. This is called love bombing followed by intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most psychologically powerful manipulation cycles known to behavioral science. Here's why it works. Your brain is actually wired to work harder for unpredictable rewards. It's the same reason slot machines are addictive. When affection is consistent, you feel secure. When it's unpredictable, sometimes abundant, sometimes completely withdrawn, your brain goes into overdrive trying to earn it back. The manipulator doesn't have to do anything except pull back at strategic moments, and you'll do the rest yourself. Sign number 4. Moving the goalposts. No matter what you do, it's never quite enough. You finish the project ahead of deadline, but the format was wrong. You apologize, but not in the right way. You change the behavior they complained about, but now there's a new problem. This keeps you in a permanent state of striving and inadequacy. And the key insight here is this. It feels like a standards issue. It feels like they just have high expectations. But notice, do they apply those standards to themselves? Or only to you? Manipulators who use this technique are experts at making unreasonable demands feel reasonable. They frame every new criticism as your failure to grow, not their failure to be consistent. And here's the dark psychological truth. When someone keeps moving the goalposts, they're not trying to improve you. They're trying to exhaust you. A tired, confused, self-doubting person is far easier to control. Sign number 5. The information broker. Think about the last time someone shared information with you that they probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but meet Daniel. Daniel always knew everything about everyone in his friend group. He knew who was fighting with whom, who had money problems, who was insecure about what. And he shared it all, generously, positioning himself as a trusted confidant to every person in the circle. What no one realized was that Daniel was doing this in every direction. He was telling person a what person be said, softening it, shaping it, framing it, creating wedges, keeping everyone slightly dependent on him for information, keeping everyone slightly suspicious of each other. This is called triangulation. It's when a manipulator inserts themselves as the necessary middleman between you and others, controlling the narrative, stoking insecurity, and making themselves indispensable. The result? The people around Daniel never fully trusted each other. But they all, oddly, trusted Daniel until one of them compared notes. We're getting close to the 2 most powerful signs. And I promise you, the last one is going to reframe everything you've heard so far. Sign number 6. The victimhood shield. There are people who use their own suffering as a weapon, not people who are genuinely struggling. That's different, and that deserves compassion. People who weaponize their victimhood, specifically to make you feel that you can never hold them accountable. The pattern looks like this. You raise a concern about their behavior, and suddenly, they're the one who's been wronged. Their childhood, their trauma, everything they've sacrificed for you. The conversation about your concern completely vanishes, and now you're comforting them. Every single time. Psychologists call this darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It's a documented manipulation strategy where the person being confronted immediately flips the script, making themselves the victim, and you, the aggressor. The most painful part? It often works on the most empathetic people, because you do care about their pain. You don't want to hurt someone who's already hurting. That's exactly what they're counting on. Now, all 6 of these signs are real. All 6 are dangerous. But there is one final sign, and it is the one that ties them all together. It is the one that, once you see it, you cannot unsee. Sign number 7. They make you feel lucky to have them. Here it is. The sign that lives underneath all the others. You feel like you're lucky. Lucky they put up with you. Lucky they stay. Lucky they forgive you. Lucky they chose you, out of everyone. Not in the healthy, grateful way, but in the anxious, please don't leave me way. This is called manufactured dependency, and it is the master move of every skilled manipulator. Because if you believe that you are the difficult one, the broken one, the one who needs them more than they need you, then every cruel thing they do becomes a gift. Every moment they stay feels like mercy. Think about everything we've covered. The guilt trips made you feel responsible for their feelings. The gaslighting made you stop trusting yourself. The love bombing made you desperate to recapture early warmth. The moving goalposts kept you in a constant state of inadequacy. The triangulation made you dependent on them for truth. The victimhood shield meant you could never hold them accountable. All of it was building toward this single belief. I am lucky they haven't left. Because a person who feels lucky to be tolerated will accept almost anything. Here's what I need you to hear. Manipulation at this level is not about any single behavior. It's about the slow, methodical erosion of your belief that you deserve better. And the moment you start to suspect you might deserve better, that is not arrogance. That is survival. The most sophisticated manipulation doesn't make you angry. It makes you grateful. And the most important question you can ask yourself after watching this isn't, is someone doing this to me? It's when did I stop trusting myself? And who was I with when that started? Sit with that.